Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are talking with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. We're getting his thoughts on each of the four teams' chances to win the national championship that are in contention right now. And right now we're going to talk about Oregon. Steve, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you for having me back, Peter.
All right, before we hear your thoughts on Oregon, give a quick plug for collegefootballwinning.com, your website.
I'd be happy to. At collegefootballwinning.com, all we do is college football betting analysis all year round, even in the off season. So that is our sole focus. We are a company founded on making betting recommendations algorithmically, and we call those algorithmic betting recommendations our formula. Our formula is it's current, up to right now, 62.46% against the spread lifetime. Now this season, since the third week in September of this season, for all of our betting recommendations, not just the formula, we are 62.04% against the spread. Bowl season historically has been our best time of year. Our lifetime of the company and picking bowl selections, 65.17% against the spread. This is my fourth season doing videos, bowl season videos with you, Peter, and with SBR. My record, that is to say collegefootballwinning.com's record, in SBR bowl videos, this being our fourth season, 15-5-1 against the spread, so that's 75% against the spread. This season, leading up to bowl season, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, in the videos with you, I'm 9-1 against the spread. So 90% out of the 10 videos that I've done with you so far. So we hope that people want to join us for bowl season. If they do, we offer a 100% money-back guaranteed option. Go to collegefootballwinning.com. Put in coupon code SBR10, that's SBR10, and you'll get 10% off of any membership that we're currently offering now through the end of bowl season.
Okay, sounds great, Steve. Well, Pinnacle has Oregon as a second choice to win it all. Currently plus 155 you can have at Pinnacle for the yes. And Oregon, they covered their last 8 games in a row. So at least against their market valuation in the middle and the end of the season, Oregon was beating it. What's your take on Oregon's chances, Steve?
Well, Oregon, as you said, they have the second shortest odds of winning the 2015 national championship. So I wrote an article on SBR that sort of goes in conjunction with this video. And what we're doing is we're exploring the national championship odds and the value of a futures bet on the 4 college football playoff teams. So focusing on Oregon here, I used William Hill's numbers, which are very similar to the one you just mentioned, or the ones you mentioned for Pinnacle. They were used for the article and for this video. Oregon, they had, William Hill had at 3-2 to win the national championship. So one way of thinking about those odds is imagine Oregon running through this playoff 3 different times. So those odds at 3-2 say that Oregon would win the national championship 2 out of those 3 times. So if you converted that to a percentage, that'd be 66.67%. So the odds are telling you it's as if Oregon has a 66.67% chance of winning it all. But let's see if those odds are providing any value. Oregon's first game, it's against Florida State. Oregon is currently a 9.5-point favorite. Utilizing college football outcomes, actual outcomes from the past 10 seasons, I calculated the actual rate at which 9.5-point favorites won outright. So they won straight up. And the answer, based on closing line numbers, 9.5-point favorites, they won straight up 70.78% of the time. So assuming that Oregon does achieve that 70.78% possibility of beating Florida State, in order to win the national championship, they would have to then beat either Ohio State or Alabama. So here's where it gets a little more theoretical. For this section, again, a disclaimer, for the purposes of the article and for this video, I took teams as they are right now instead of attempting to predict what their power ratings would be like after that first victory in the playoff right before the national championship. So here we go. Right now, power ratings right now, if Oregon played Alabama, we would make Oregon a 5-point underdog against Alabama for the national championship. So accepting that hypothetical betting line, over the past 10 seasons, closing line underdogs of 5 points won their games outright, so that is straight up, exactly 39% of the time. So calculating the likelihood of victories over Florida State and Alabama to win that national championship would give you, for Oregon, about a 27.6% chance of actually winning the national championship. That roughly converts to 3.6 to 1 odds. Should Ohio State, on the other hand, upset Alabama and face Oregon in the national championship, again, taking those teams just as they are now and not accounting for how the power ratings would change should Ohio State pull off that upset, we made Oregon a 5-point favorite over Ohio State in the national championship game. So closing line favorites of 5 points. They were straight up winners the past 10 seasons, exactly 61% of the time. So putting that all together, calculating the likelihood of victories over Florida State and Ohio State yields an Oregon national championship, given that scenario, of 43.18%. And that roughly translates to 2.3 to 1 odds. In the final analysis then, Peter, given that Ohio State is a 9.5-point underdog to Alabama, that means that there's a 70.78% chance that Oregon, if they beat Florida State, would face Alabama in the national championship. So the ultimate calculation gives Oregon a 32.16% chance of winning it all, which roughly translates or converts to 3.1 to 1 odds. So understanding Oregon's national championship odds as I just explained them and calculated them, that means that at the current actual odds of 3 to 2, you'd be paying as if Oregon had a 66.67% chance of winning a national championship, when in reality it looks more like 32.16%. So in real money terms, Peter, for every $100 bet on those actual current odds, $150 would be won. Now compare that to what should be won for what we think are more like true odds, $310 for every $100 bet, and you find that you stand to lose $160 for every $100 wagered based on probability. So the conclusion, by our calculations, Peter, there is negative value on an Oregon National Championship futures bet at odds any worse than 3.1 to 1, and nobody is offering those odds. So again, we recommend against taking an Oregon National Championship futures bet. There's simply negative value there.
Okay, interesting thoughts, Steve. Thanks.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.